I hope you are having a great week. So I'm going to introduce the next project for you guys, and we're going to break this up into parts. So part one will be today, and part two will be next week. Next week I'm going to try to do a live Skype demo too, so look for that link in your email here. But for this part of the project, we're going to do a culture presentation, which will tie into your project for next week. So your culture presentation, you are going to choose a culture. There are many different cultures that you can choose from. I put a few examples on Canvas, so like Japanese, Chinese, Greek, Egyptian. You don't have to choose from one of those. You can choose a different culture. It's totally fine. But you're going to be doing a research project on the history of ceramics in that culture. Keep in mind, some cultures might have multiple forms of ceramics. For instance, Japanese, there's the ceramics form of raku, which is a super awesome firing process. And then they also have the kintsugi, which is where if your pottery is broken, they put it back together with like gold lining, which is really awesome. Um, so for your project, you're gonna make this presentation, and you can do it in any form that you want. If you want to do a PowerPoint, if you want to do Google Slides, if you want to do a Prezi, or any other way that you can think of, you are more than welcome to. Things you need to consider for your actual project. So the front slide of whatever format you choose should be what culture you decided to go with. So for instance, mine I'm doing the kintsugi, which is a Japanese, um, in the Japanese culture. So mine I would put kintsugi Japanese culture, and then my name, because why not? And then the questions that you should answer. Um, One question that you need to answer is the history of ceramics in that culture. So, what was it used for? Was it something very traditional? Was it used to get water from like a watering hole? What did they use it for? Another question is how it was made. Was it made using coils, slabs? Um, did they have a wheel kind of thing? Has it evolved for them using a wheel, or just different ways of how they made it? What was it made out of? So did they make it out of mud? Did they make it out of earthenware, stoneware, just normal clay? Or was it a combination of things? Another question I want you to answer is the firing process. So how did they fire it? Was it just like a kiln, like brick oven that they made themselves? Did they have like big, awesome kilns, which would be hard in the cultures back then? Or for instance, like raku firing, it's a very unique firing process where they actually take like when the glaze reaches its melting point, which is typically, if you're doing like a high fire around 2100 degrees, they would take it out right as the glaze starts to melt, and then they would put it into a trash can or some kind of container full of like sawdust or newspaper or whatever, and let it um, smoke, and then the smoke would like fill in all the cracks with like this black um, soot, and then it would stay in there. And then other things you need to consider are the decorations. So how did they design the pottery? Was it just plain? Were there really cool designs on it? Was there symbolism in the design? So like with the Greek culture and all the different patterns they have, like those have symbolism meanings to them. Um, and did they create functional pieces or non functional pieces? Meaning, functional pieces are pieces that are actually functional, like my coffee cup here that holds delicious coffee. Or did they make non functional pieces, which are things that you can't use, they're just for decoration? I also want you guys to do pictures of the pottery and the designs on them. So those should be worked throughout your slides as well. Also, I want you to put in something unique or interesting that you discovered about the culture and their use of ceramics. And then the last page should be a resource page. You need to make sure you cite your sources and your pictures. If they're not like the free pictures that everybody's allowed to use, you need to make sure that you cite them. This is all on Canvas broken now of what you should put in there. Um, there's not really a set length, but you need to make sure that you answer every question that is on there. Okay. If you have any questions, please let me know and I will gladly help you out. And then look for that Skype next week to do a demo on how I want you to build your project. But hope you guys are having fun. Miss you. Bye.